What's going on with student loan repayment? Imagine receiving an urgent communication that a court order ended the SAVE plan and that you need to make a decision about your repayment plan by July 1st. But studentaid.gov gives you one date, your loan servicer gives you another, and an email from the Department of Education seems to tell you something different. Then you find out from the debt collective, our nation's first union of debtors, that a federal court filing says the date is September 29th. Which one do you follow? This matters because whether it's your education, your child's, or someone you love, how we pay for college can affect families for decades. As a disabled, low income, first generation student, I have 260K in student loan debt. So I have a personal stake in understanding this system. But my knowledge goes beyond my own loans. Also a student debt organizer with the Debt Collective, and I've researched, written, and spoken about recent changes to federal student loan policy. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act changed federal student loan repayment beginning July 1st, 2026, and borrowers are navigating those changes alongside major administrative problems within the student loan system. Today, I'm going to explain what changed, why borrowers are experiencing so much confusion, and what administrative problems are happening at the same time. First, what changed? According to the U.S. Department of Education's 2026 Reimagining and Improving Student Education Final Regulations, the new rules created a new income-driven repayment plan called the Repayment Assistance Plan, or RAP, and began phasing out existing income contingent repayment plans. But which options are available to you can depend on when you borrowed and what type of federal loans you have. The Institute for College Access and Success actually created a chart to explain the upcoming changes to income-driven repayment plans. And when you look at it, you can see how complicated these choices can become. So now that we understand what changed, why are borrowers experiencing so much confusion? A 2026 payment pause sign-on letter from the Debt Collective and Student Debt Crisis Center reports conflicting deadlines from servicers, studentaid.gov, and the Department of Education, with questions about eligibility and payment amounts still unanswered. The result resembles what political strategists call flooding the zone, an information environment so crowded with competing messages that it becomes difficult to know what information to follow. At the same time, major administrative problems remain. A May 2026 federal court filing from the American Federation of Teachers versus the U.S. Department of Education reported over 530,000 pending income-driven repayment applications and 88,000 pending public service loan forgiveness, or PSLF, buyback application. That's more than 500,000 IDR applications waiting to be processed. Borrowers are also experiencing problems with their payment history. The 2024 Consumer Financial Protection Bureau Student Loan Ombudsman Report documented servicing and payment history problems, showing that millions of borrowers cannot access accurate and complete payment histories. And this is happening right now. As I was writing this speech, my phone flashed a CNBC headline. Education Department recalculates student loan forgiveness counts, setting some PSLF borrowers back. Some borrowers are now further from debt cancellation because their qualifying payments counts change. And that matters because if your payment history isn't accurate or complete, it can become difficult to determine where you actually stand in repayment or how much progress you've made towards program like PSLF. In conclusion, federal student loan repayment in 2026 involves much more than simply making a monthly payment. Today, I explained what changed in federal student loan repayment, why borrowers are experiencing confusion, and the administrative problems happening within the system at the same time. We started with a simple question. If the government, your servicer, and the information you receive seem to be telling you different things, Which one do you follow? Understanding what's really happening in the federal student loan system gives borrowers and future borrowers a better chance of answering that question.